Cracking, everybody. How you doing? Saludos. at I was at an appointment all day. I had an opportunity to meet Jimmy Baca. His name's Jimmy Santiago Baca. He wrote a book called Place to Stand. He's also the one that wrote Blood In, Blood Out, the movie. I had an opportunity to meet him today, but I had obligations I had to deal with, so I had to deal with them. You can always prioritize what's important and what's not important. So I had to do what I had to do. I also went to school today and did a class because I have an art project with the ceramics. We have to make some cups for ceramic class, which I'm doing. Uh, I completed two of them already. I got two more to go. But as long as I stay up on the cast, I'm fine. So, anyways, I wanna bring this up again about the Chicanos. I was actually at school, and somebody that runs a program called Rising Scholars. It's for ex felons. If you've ever been incarcerated, you go to that program. They help you get situated at school. They help you get in. They have things that help you as far as like uh, grants to for books and school supplies and stuff like that. They go out the way. They help you. At Rising Scholar, the individual's name that runs it is Alessandro. Well, Alessandro had brought it up to me that somebody had brought my video to him regarding the Chicano thing, and that's what I wanted to speak about. And to me, that just shows that it's a subject which Alessandro agreed that needs to be brought up and brought to the forefront. You know, people are still confusing Chicanos with gang culture. People are still, and I find it offensive, and you should find it offensive. If you're a Chicano and you got people of a bunch of different races saying that they're representing you because they're wearing some Ben Davis and some khakis and slingshots and they got tattoos on their faces, on their heads, and they're throwing gang signs, and they're supposed to be representing Chicano culture. That's not what Chicano culture is. Okay, come in, damn. So it's not what. What? What do you want? What? Anyways, but that's not what Chicano culture is, and you should find it offensive. You should be offended when somebody continues to make fun, and that's what they're doing. They're making fun of your culture. Uh, okay, for one, just them saying that they're Chicanos or they're representing Chicano culture or showing love to Chicano culture. It's. Would you stop? It makes us all look bad. Tell you the truth, it does. Chicano, just if you're a Chicano, doesn't mean that you wear baggy pants. It doesn't mean that you wear baggy clothes. It doesn't mean that you wear Ben Davis or Nike Cortez or you wear a slingshot or you have tattoos. It doesn't mean none of that. But why is it so important for everybody to push that narrative that it does? Because it's gang culture, right? Gang culture is completely different from Chicanos. But we have these people that continue to say and stand up for these individuals, and I just don't see it. I don't understand it, and that should not be the narrative. I just watched another video where this guy talking about uh, the neighborhood making you something. Neighborhood doesn't do anything for you. The neighborhood doesn't do anything for you. Let's be honest. There's no glory in being from a neighborhood. Anybody can be from a neighborhood. You ain't even got to be down to be in a neighborhood. That's just a simple fact. I know a lot of cowards that are from neighborhoods. Spencer, they might take that one ass whipping when they get their ass kicked, but then the rest of the time they're running for their life because, or they just don't claim it or whatever it is. So, messing with all that bullshit where there's some kind of glory in being from a neighborhood because there isn't. At one point in time, we looked at it like it was glory, like it was honorable, but it isn't. It does nothing for you. It's not positive. It's not a good thing. It's not something to be proud of. Something to be proud of is having a degree in something, uh, being there for your mother and your father in their need, or your little brothers, or being responsible and taking care of your family, feeding them and housing them and clothing them. That's something to be proud of. Not because I'm from a neighborhood. Yes, at one time I felt very proud to be from a neighborhood. And I spent most of my life being from that neighborhood and representing that neighborhood. And what has it done for me? Not a damn thing. You know, it's to the point that if I'm walking down the street and I'm getting rushed uh, by the enemies, don't be surprised if some of my homies are standing right next to them. That's the time. That's what being from a neighborhood from all these years has brought me. Now I know people are talk, oh well, because this you don't, dude, you have no idea about my life or what I've done or where I've been, and I'm in what they call good standings. Okay, that's for what it's worth. I'm considering good standings. Not that it does anything for me, but back to the culture. We are Chicanos are everyday people. They are everyday people with Mexican blood in them that runs through their vein. That live in the United States. Uh, Now I know if you people from Texas and New Mexico and Arizona, Chicago, all these different areas where there's a lot of Hispanics, a lot of raza, a lot of Chicanos, uh, don't dress in baggy pants, and they would find it offensive if you told them that's their culture and that's how they're represented by some Vietnamese or Filipinos or Chinos or any other race running around saying, "Oh, we're celebrating Chicano culture." That's not the Chicano culture. Can't you think? Get it through your head. It's not the Chicano culture. You are symbolizing a gang member. That's the culture. Gang members, Chicano, are not the same thing. Southsiders, Northerners are not the same thing as a Chicano. Yes, you can be a Chicano and be in a neighborhood and represent and do things like that, but that doesn't mean you're representing the Chicano culture. Just because you're from a gang, a Mexican gang, doesn't make you a Chicano. Because again, a Chicano is not based on the way you're dressed, your gang membership, your face tattoos, or any tattoos for that matter, the sizes, the types of shoes, or anything. We have, this is a perfect example of a Chicano. We have Brad, what is his name? Brad, I was going to say Brad Pitt. Pitt, his last name. Okay, uh, let's go to somebody else because I forgot that dude's name. No, let's think at Chicano Hollywood. Chicano Hollywood's a perfect example of a Chicano. He doesn't dress like a gang member, doesn't act like a gang member, doesn't talk like a gang member, and as far as I can see, he doesn't have any tattoos. And as far as I can see, I don't think he's ever been from a neighborhood. Chicano tattoo, Chicano Hollywood. You could see what he's doing for our community, for the Chicano community. Okay, you don't see him running around telling people, selling people Ben Davis and Pendletons and flannels. And let's be honest, if you're really a gang member, you're not wearing Pendletons. Can't afford Pendletons. I actually have one. I am fortunate. My wife bought me one. I can afford one now, but when I was a kid, I couldn't afford no damn Pendleton. $100 for a shirt? You crazy. But that's just me. Anyways, but Chicano Hollywood is a perfect example of a Chicano. Somebody we need to be proud of. That man, Chicano Hollywood, is going to go down in history for fighting for the Chicanos. And he's not one of those that he's going to press, well, you got the Mexican blood. He knows what it is. Doesn't mean he's pressing it. Doesn't mean he needs to press it. He is looking at a wider range and more power to him. God bless that man. He is doing something positive for our culture. He's giving us a good name. Versus, we got some guy in the Philippines, China Mac, talking about Chicanos. So we got China, we have the Vietnamese, we have the Philippines, we have Koreans, we have everybody pushing the narrative about they're doing for the Chicanos, and they're celebrating the Chicano culture and representing it. What? But it ain't Chicano. How does that make sense? All you guys, before you respond to me with that dumb shit about Capone being a Chicano, or China Mac talked to him and he said he was gonna bring a real Chicano out here so these guys don't make a mistake. And before you do all that shit, really sit down and think about what I'm telling you. A Chicano is not defined by the clothes that they wear or how they look. A Chicano doesn't have to be a gang member, doesn't have to emulate like he's a gang member. A Chicano is what's in the blood, okay? In the blood, in the veins. No clothing, no nothing else. We have hundreds of kids, thousands of kids going to ELAC, East Los Angeles College, that consider themselves Chicanos. We have a Chicano movement. Look in the videos, look up Chicano movements, and show me where you'll see a gang member or anybody dressed like a gang member or emulating a gang member. Look up for the Chicanos that push for political movement. Look up that. You'll find a lot of guys my age and older that will push and say it's a political movement. But they're not gang members. So before you come at me with this dumb shit in the comments about you're representing, you're just being that I'm overzealous, I'm just looking for some content. No. Understand what a Chicano is before you start saying you're representing it. It's that simple. Because it is getting disrespectful now, where people really think they are representing my gente, my culture, my people. You're not. The way I look right now, just because I got a mustache and some tattoos doesn't make the fact that I'm representing the Chicano right now. I'm Chicano because what's underneath me, what's underneath the tattoos, what's underneath the clothing, in the blood. In the blood is what represents and how I represent my Chicano gente, my Chicano culture, where my Chicanos come from. Chicanos is not some made up word. You guys are hearing it from Hollywood. You guys are hearing it from a bunch of rappers that say they're Chicano rappers and they dress a certain way. There's Chicano rappers that don't even dress like they're gang members. They dress like they're from a different culture altogether. They're wearing flamed up with Laker gear, a bunch of Laker shorts and shirts and wearing big chains, and they don't even look like gang members. But they say they're Chicano rappers, right? Like I said, it's the blood. Just because Capone dresses like a gang member doesn't make him a Chicano. Ask him yourself. He won't tell you he's a Chicano rapper. I don't think so. But if he knows any sense, if he got any kind of sense, he would tell you, nah, the gang culture. Anybody that's representing like that should tell you it's a gang culture. It's not a Chicano culture. It's my 2 cents. I'm going to keep pushing this issue until these people get it straight. These people get it right. Stop disrespecting my gente. Stop disrespecting and thinking you can just call yourself a Chicano because you want to put on some Dickies. That's not, or a football jersey. You know what, Holmes? I feel like I'm going to be a Chicano today. Let me go put on a jersey and some khakis. Have a blessed one, you guys.